I found my way to StoneWater at the Granbury campus. Little less than 2 years ago, I went through a divorce, which is not really what I'd planned on doing at this stage of my life. I was just absolutely devastated by it. So on top of just being absolutely devastated at this point in my life, having to start over at my age, which was no pleasant thought at all. Then I had compounding on top of that the fact that I put myself in this situation. I couldn't blame anybody else, couldn't be mad at anybody else other than myself. And I'm the one that caused it. When I thought about what lay ahead of me for the rest of my life, I saw nothing positive, not anything. And I stumbled around like that for a little while. And so I started calling around to see if anybody had like a support group or trying to find counselors or whatever. And I called several places. And finally, I called the Granbury campus of StoneWater. And I have no clue who I talked to, but I talked to one of the associate pastors and explained my situation to him and what I was going through, and asked if there was anything that StoneWater had that could help me right now. And of course, he mentioned, just counseling with a pastor, but he also mentioned a program called Regeneration. And this was toward the end of August. And he said that it was not gonna start back up until the early part of October. He told me a little bit about it, that it's a program to help, it's kind of a self-help program. And I said, fine, sign me up, I'll do it. I knew I needed something. I couldn't keep going on. I was in such a state that if my truck would have stalled on a railroad track, I'm not sure I would have got out of the truck. That's where I was at in my life. I've never been that low. And I just didn't know what to do. Once I made the phone call and started thinking about this program, we had about 3 or 4 weeks before it was going to start. Once a week for the next 3 weeks, I got a call from an associate pastor at StoneWater, and it wasn't the same one every time. And all they were doing was checking on me, just checking to see if I was okay. At that stage of my life, I cannot tell you how much that meant to me, because they never asked me to join the church. They never asked me where I went to church. They never asked me anything, didn't try to convert me into anything. They were doing nothing but checking on my well-being. When I went to that very first regeneration meeting, I was so apprehensive. I was scared to death. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know exactly how it worked, although it had been kind of explained to me a little bit. But when I showed up and we went into the auditorium and they started worship, I was sitting as close to the door as I could, because I was waiting on the wrong thing to be said. I wasn't sure this was going to be for me, or I wasn't sure it was going to help me. And the second I heard the wrong thing, I was out of there. As regeneration started rolling along and we started getting into small groups, I started developing the rapport with everybody else in there and started finding the support that was helping me get through every day. The love and the support that I got from regeneration is just incredible, and I can't explain to you how much that meant to me at the time. So I started coming to the church services, and what I found out was that love and support was not just in Regen by itself. That's spread throughout this whole church, and I have never seen a place, a church, or any type of body like this that has any more caring or love for people than this one does. As we got closer to commence, I found myself making suggestions on how to put it off a week or something like that, because I didn't want to leave. And so finally we got to the point where we commenced, and I was like, this is my Monday night. What am I supposed to do? So I looked at Terry and Tim and I said, I'm sorry, but y'all are going to have to find something for me to do, because I ain't leaving. And so I've since become a leader, a group leader in regeneration. I've attended church before, other places, but I've never been part of church. And at StoneWater, I'm part of this. And that's what lifts my heart up.